Okay. Thank you so much for joining our Body After Baby workshop. This is something we are so passionate about is helping moms to feel healthy and still make time for themselves because we know firsthand how hard this can be. I'm Chelsea and I'm a mom of two. And I definitely struggled after having babies with making time for myself, with figuring out what that was even going to look like, with how do I find time to navigate things. And while we can't go into too much of that today about time management, we are going to try to give you guys some takeaways that will hopefully make this journey a little bit more digestible and easy for you. And hopefully also that you don't feel alone in it as a mom. So I'll real quickly let Kayla and Shelby just introduce themselves and then we'll jump in.
Hey, hi guys. I am Coach Kayla. I have a 18-month-old little guy. And yeah, I'm just excited for you all to be here and I'm excited for you to just learn lots and have lots of takeaways. We're hoping to do some interactive exercises as well. So if you have some space, great. If not, that's okay too. But we're just really excited for you guys to be here.
And I am Coach Shelby. Oh, cool. I thought I was muted. Sorry. I'm Coach Shelby, and I am 14 months postpartum. I had a emergency C-section, and yeah, I was an in-person trainer until I had my baby and needed to be with her. So now I'm an online trainer. But yeah, I'm super excited. This is kind of like my first class workshop teaching all of this stuff to you guys. So I'm really excited.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to start off with understanding your core and pelvic floor and what happens to your body during pregnancy, because obviously it's a very special time, but there's also so many lovely changes that happen to your body, and understanding it and how to train is going to help you so much. So first up, we want to share with you guys the difference between your different ab muscles that I feel like is not really talked about, and it's really important for understanding. So if you can see, everyone can see okay? These pictures here of your ab muscles, you can see on the bottom right, it's a picture of your rectus abdominal muscles. And this is like your six-pack abs. These are what people think about when you think of your abs. It's what everyone thinks about is seeing those six-pack muscles. But there's so much more to your core than just these muscles. We'll also have your pelvic floor, and we also have our transverse abdominis, which if you can look at the top picture on the top right, it shows you that muscle that is the transversus abdominis. And this is the muscle, if you think of what wraps around your waist and your core versus what's smack dab in the middle. And it's what's going to stabilize your core and keep everything held together there. And this is when you think of having ab splitting, it's when your rectus abdominis splits apart. Having a strong transverse abdominis is what's going to help hold all of that together when your belly's growing and when you're pregnant. Also, even if you're not pregnant or postpartum, everyone should learn to train this muscle because this is what's going to protect your spine. It keeps you from hurting your back during squats and other movements when you're lifting, and just with age, if you want to protect that lower back. So many of us now have lower back problems as we age. By building and strengthening and knowing how to engage that muscle, you're going to help protect your spine. So when you're pregnant and postpartum, we really want to focus on training the transversus abdomen because you're actually, fun fact, you're not really supposed to train your rectus abdominis when you're pregnant. At the beginning, first trimester, probably okay. But as you get more pregnant, you're not really supposed to train that because what can happen is you're going to split it apart. You're going to wind up with ab splitting, which we don't want to happen. And here I have this little picture of diastasis recti, what that looks like, obviously after you've had the baby, but you can see the coning or the doming of the stomach here. A good way to test for it is to lie on your back and try to sit up. And when you do that and when you engage those muscles, if you see like a little bit of a triangle, a point, that's a good sign that you may have that. And so if you aren't strengthening your core while you're pregnant, it can lead to this ab splitting, which most people think of it being a cosmetic thing because it can look a little bit funny, but it's not just a cosmetic thing. It can really be painful, can be uncomfortable, and it can even require surgery in extreme cases. So it's something we don't want to happen. Everyone is going to have some level of this. Like it might be a teeny tiny bit. It's like your body's changing and stretching and all that. You might have a very small amount of it, and that's normal and that's okay, but you don't want to wind up with a lot of it. Can also make it hard to do certain exercises if you wind up with that. We're also going to be understanding the pelvic floor a little bit. Again, this is a muscle that I don't feel like it's ever talked about to us women, but it's very, very important. So your pelvic floor is this little hammock-looking muscle in your pelvis, and just think of that. Think of a hammock. It's going to be holding all your organs up. It's going to be holding your uterus. It's going to hold your bladder. This is another muscle that you can strengthen, just like any other muscle in your body. You can build it, you can strengthen it, and we should be building it and strengthening it. And when you are pregnant, there is a lot of weight that sits on that pelvic floor, and we want that muscle to be strong so that it doesn't get damaged when you're pregnant. So it's really, really, really important that you can at first identify it, and two, know how to strengthen it, because when you're pregnant, you have the weight of the baby, the weight of all the fluid in there, and the weight of the placenta, which is going to be like 15 pounds at the end for all of that, not just the baby. That's a lot of extra stretch on that muscle. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to take care of that muscle and not doing things that could damage it. If you have issues with your pelvic floor, it can be really, really life-changing in a bad way. It can lead to incontinence where you pee your pants, or just like a little bit where you sneeze or cough and you pee. It can lead to organ prolapse where your organs literally fall out of your body and you need surgery to put it back. It can lead to painful sex after you have a baby. Obviously, first time having sex after having a baby might not be the most comfortable and might not be comfortable for a while, particularly if you're breastfeeding because of hormonal changes. But if it's continuously painful, not just like a little uncomfortable, that is not normal. And that could very well mean there's a problem with your pelvic floor. Inability to perform many different movements and exercises, or having pain down there. Again, all this is not normal. And we need to make sure that we're taking care of our pelvic floor. So let's get into what do we do to take care of these muscles and what to avoid. So if you're pregnant or even really freshly postpartum, this is what we're going to avoid. Everything that I listed here. You don't want to do sit-ups or traditional ab movements that are going to hit your traditional ab muscles, the rectus abdominis. We're going to avoid those. Again, first trimester, before you really have a big belly, probably okay. But when you have a big old belly, there's already a lot of pulling going on there. Let's not do anything further there. Don't crunch the house. That was something that was told to me when I was pregnant. So think of your belly as a house. You don't want to sit on the house or lay on the house or crunch the house. Planks are also a no-go because it can put a lot of like pull on your lower back with the weight of the baby being there. Leg lifts, leg raises, anything that just doesn't feel right. If you feel any kind of pulling down in your lower abdomen in particular, you shouldn't have a feeling of like everything being pulled. If you do that, if you have that, stop. HIIT or jumping movements. You don't want to be doing HIIT when you're real pregnant. Again, at the beginning, probably not a big deal before you have the baby, but when you think of your pelvic floor and all the weight that is there that we talked about with your baby and the fluid and the placenta, it's already, your pelvic floor is holding up so much weight and it's already stretching. And at the end, it's like stretched to the max. And now you're jumping on it. And you don't want to be doing that because you could tear it, you can hurt it. Just don't be jumping or doing jumping jacks or anything like that when you're pregnant. You shouldn't be running when you're pregnant. Just be more careful there. You're also going to be a lot more injury prone. So I feel like just probably not the best idea. But let's talk about, okay, so we're pregnant. We want to train our core. You should be training your core to protect your lower back, to actually be able to push the baby out during labor. Being in tune with those core muscles is going to help you to push effectively. Knowing how to target your pelvic floor and your core, this is going to help so much with the pushing stage, and it helps also with recovery. So we are going to show you a few movements. Kayla is actually going to demonstrate these, and you can do this with us. And these are things that are not just pregnancy safe, but they're also things you can do postpartum. And a couple of them, core breathing in particular, you can do like immediately postpartum. And actually, you should. It's not like considered like exercising, it is literally a breathing movement that can help with healing. So, you want to go ahead and show us that, Kayla?
Yes. I'll start with the core breathing. I'm going to kind of like move back here so you guys can see me. And my clients that are on here, they know I have this programmed in their workout program. And it's like Chelsea said, it's one that you can do immediately after having baby. And I remember I would just even do while I'm just like sitting holding baby. Like you can even sit and do it. You can do it while you're sitting in the car. Like it's something that you can do at any time of the day. And I suggest doing it multiple times throughout the day. Just whenever you think of it, just stop and do just some core breathing and practice that. So I'm going to kind of go here so you guys can see. Okay, can you guys all see my waist? Not to be weird, but
Yes.
so core breathing, okay? Like I said, you can do this like this. You can do it sitting. You can do it standing, however you want to do it. I'm just going to kneel so you guys can see me. But what you're going to do, so this is relaxed right now, okay? My tummy's relaxed. You're going to inhale and you're going to push your stomach out. So watch me. I'm going to look very pregnant. Inhale, then you're going to exhale and you're going to draw your stomach in. Like think of someone pulling a string on your belly button and you're going to hold it there. And starting off, you're probably going to only be able to hold it for like 10 seconds because it should hurt and it might feel weird and it might feel like I don't even know how to pull it in. Kayla, a lot of my clients will tell me like, I don't know what I should be feeling. Just keep practicing it. Okay. So once again, if you want to do it with me, start relaxed. You're going to inhale. You're going to push out. Then you're going to exhale. And like I said, it's like someone's pulling your belly button. You're going to pull it in and you're going to hold it 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20. Keep building and building on it. And like I said, you can do it while you're sitting, you can do it kneeling, standing, whenever, but that's what the core breathing looks like.
And also really be thinking about your pelvic floor when you're doing that. It's not just a core movement, but also pelvic floor. So the way you want that to do is when your belly's going out, when you're like think of it inflating with air, your pelvic floor is going down. And then when you tighten your pelvic floor, am I saying that right? Yeah, it's going down. And then when you blow out and tighten, your stomach comes in, your pelvic floor goes up. And the way to think about it to know if you're doing it right is think of like a balloon down there or in your stomach, and the balloon inflates, it pushes everything out, stomach and pelvic floor, and then it deflates slowly and it pulls everything in, pelvic floor up, stomach in.
Yes. And it, like I said, it's a little uncomfortable, but the more that you do it, the more that you'll know what you should be feeling.
Yeah, really quick. If you can't see Kayla because it's still on the slideshow, just click double tap on Kayla's video, like or her screen right there where she's at, and it'll flip to her so you can see her full screen. And then when we go back to the slideshow, just double tap on the slideshow and it'll go back just so you can see her. There's just a question in the chat really quick.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Shelby.
Okay.
Okay.
You want me to do
Standing march.
Standing march. Okay, let me back this up a little bit. So a standing march, and gosh, I'm sorry, let me pull this up. Okay, you can have a dumbbell as well. If not, it's totally fine to not start with one. But again, you're gonna inhale, tummy out, exhale, draw it in, and you're gonna just lift up and lift up and just keep that core tight. And you want to use the opposite arm and opposite leg. So you're just going to keep lifting up and you should feel this. It looks like it's easy, but no, it is very hard. So you're just going to keep your core tight. And if you have to stop, inhale, exhale again, and just keep that core tight. And then you're going to switch. And I would start with 5 to 10 on each side, and then just make it more challenging for yourself. So that's the standing march. Next one is another breathing exercise. So again, when you're postpartum, this is one you can do right away. Sorry, you guys are seeing my room all over the place here. A pillow can go between your legs. So I'm going to get on all fours for this one. A pillow can go between your legs. If you have a pillow, if you do not, I don't have one available right now, but if you have one, you can put it between your legs. You're going to inhale. And I know it's kind of hard to see. I should really be wearing like a sports bra. But you're going to inhale. Again, stomach goes out. Exhale. You're going to pull it in. And you're just going to hold it there. And you just hold it again for 10, 15 seconds, however long you can hold it. And you rest. And you're going to inhale. Exhale, draw your tummy in, pull it up. And you're just going to hold it there. I actually did that one last night. And man, I am sore. My core is very sore. So that's that one. And then the last one is the lying leg march. So this one, if the standing march feels a little like you're getting it down, it feels a little easy, then you can switch to the lying leg march. So I'm going to try to do this one the best I can on the floor. Hope you guys see okay? So again, you're going to lie down on the floor. I hope you guys can see okay? Inhale. It's just like you're standing, except you're doing it on the floor. Make sure your lower back is on the ground. You're going to exhale, and you're just going to bring that leg down. Okay, and your core is tight. You're just going to tap it down. And I wish I had a little more space so you guys could see, but stretch your leg out a little bit more. And you're going to tap it down. Core is tight the whole time. So hopefully that helps you guys and gives you some ideas. Now you can see exactly how to do it. And if you have questions with form, you can drop them in the chat and all of us coaches can help you. But those are some core exercises that you can start today. Even our
Yes, and
one
there's
part of mama, you can start today.
yes, especially with like the core breathing and all that, that's very safe to do. And there's so many different postpartum safe and pregnancy safe movements you can do. I wish we had more time to take you through all of them, but at least this gives you a few things that you can start. Okay. We also want to chat a little bit with you guys about mental health after you have a baby, because this is a hard time, or even when you're pregnant. Pregnancy can also be a really hard time. There are so many changes that are happening to your body and happening pretty rapidly, and it can be such a difficult time with hormones too, of feeling so happy and so thankful for what your body was able to do and for the new life, and then also feeling like you're really lonely or lost or sad. And we want you to know that that is normal and you're not alone in that feeling. So Kayla is going to chat a little bit about that.
Yes. So I know I definitely struggled um postpartum with just my mental health. Pregnancy was a lot. Or postpartum was a lot. I had no idea. I thought it was gonna be a walk in the park and it was not. And I struggled. So I just want to share with you ladies and just know, like if any of you need to talk or you're struggling, like we're all here, us coaches, we are here to chat. We would love to chat with you. And you're not alone. Reaching out to someone is like step one. The first thing that you can do is reach out to another mom or someone that you can chat with. But diving in, let's talk about recovery postpartum. So you just had baby and maybe you have all the emotions, right? You're tired, exhausted, overwhelmed. First thing that you can do is to do something for you. Whether it's, I just remember my sister-in-law telling me that she's like, whether it's big, whether it's small, whether it's going for a 5-minute walk, whether it's grabbing a cup of coffee, do something for you, something that maybe you did before baby that's going to feel normal to you. So just a couple ideas of some things that you can do while you're recovering postpartum is some yoga. You can do some light stretches, meditation, just spending time when baby's taking a nap, spend time just meditating in stillness and quietness. A walk with a best friend. This one I highly recommend. Go and just chat it out with a friend, someone who can be there for you that you can lean on during this new but exciting adjustment for you. A date night, right? It's easy to just kind of neglect our spouse. We're both tired adjusting to baby. Plan a date night, get a sitter, have, grandma and grandpa come over and go on a date night with your spouse. Go grab a cup of coffee or go to Target. I remember one time I was like, I'm getting a cup of coffee and I'm just going to Target. I'm not going to buy anything, but I just need to get out and about and just be around other people rather than at home. Getting a pedicure is always relaxing. Journaling, writing out your feelings. Sometimes we have so much going on through our head that it's easier just to put our thoughts on paper, write about all the different emotions that you're feeling during this time. Read a book. You have lots of time. You're at home. Maybe start reading like a self-development book that's going to help you as a mom or as a wife or just through even whatever you're going through, something that'll be on topic with that. Choose healthy foods that give you energy. What you put into your body is really important postpartum. If you're filling your body with sugar and processed food and crap, you're going to feel icky. So try to focus on good whole foods that are going to nourish your body and give you energy. Anything that makes you laugh. I know for me, like it was watching an episode of New Girl while I was pumping. So I love New Girl and it made me laugh and I just needed to not think about anything else but just laugh. And then lastly, I'd say this one, I would definitely make a priority is connect with other moms. Make sure that you have a support group. You have other moms that have been through what you've been through. They can relate to you and they can help you through this time. It's also important that you're really realistic with yourself postpartum. Okay, moms, like we want to be able to do it all. We want to be able to get back into things. And that's just not going to be the case. And we have to be realistic and understanding of that. So first things first, you need to give yourself some grace. You just had a baby, right? That wasn't just like, oh, a sneeze and baby's here. Like it is a big process. Your body went through a lot the past 9 months. It's recovering from giving birth. So just relax and embrace this newborn stage with your baby because it goes so fast, and just give yourself some grace. Just give yourself grace. Everything else will be there. You'll get back to it, but just right now, just breathe and just be present with your baby. And remember, it takes 8 months to 1 year to fully recover. So having that expectation of like 3 months, I'm going to be back in my pre-pregnancy clothes. I'm going to be there. I'm going to have this spot. Like, just again, relax, give yourself grace, and know it's going to take time. Yes, you can set goals and you can get there, but you have to be realistic about it so you don't let yourself down. And last thing I want to talk about is body image. Here are just some tips that can help you honor and love and appreciate your body post baby. Because I know it's hard. Our body looks different. Clothes don't fit. I know for me, I was like, I don't even know what to wear because nothing fits right now. But we really just have to pause and remember like what exactly our body just did for us and like who it brought into the world. So couple of things you can do to help switch your mindset with your body image is number one, ditch the scale. Like you don't need to be weighing yourself a week after you had your baby, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just like ditch it for now. Focus on if you're breastfeeding, focus on that, focus on fueling your body with good foods, focus on going for some walks, and just don't put that number on the scale right now. Okay. Just ditch it, let it go. Um, Wait for your first follow-up and postnatal appointment to get cleared to work out. Okay. Don't be like, all right, I got to dive back into this. I'm going to start, doing some body weight squats. Just let it go. Wait till you get approved. Wait till you get to that appointment, and it'll all be there. I promise in 6 weeks. So again, just know that the changes will come with your body. So just wait till you get approved and you can start it after that. Stop body checking. I know it's really easy, and I know this was me too. I looked in the mirror all the time and I was just like, wow, this looks different. Everything looks different. And that led my mind to get into be insecure and, oh, I wish I looked like this and I wish I could wear this. And just don't even worry about looking in the mirror. If you do, look at it and say something that you appreciate about it. Quit the social media comparison game, or just quit social media altogether. Honestly, I would probably just do that if it's going to cause you to compare and you see other moms that maybe you feel like, oh my goodness, they just bounced back right after they had their baby. Just stay off of it, right? If you're not going to use the social media for the good and it's going to cause you to go down the road of comparison, just stay off of it. Switch your mindset, which I kind of talked about with body checking. Switch your mindset when you find that you're about to be negative or you are tearing your body apart. Just really step back and go, okay, look what my body did for me, though. It brought me this beautiful baby into this world. I'm so thankful that it did, because now I have this beautiful blessing in front of me. I'm thankful that my body could carry a baby. I'm thankful that I even got pregnant. Like, I mean, there's so many things that could lead from one thing to the next to the next. So switch your mindset, say something out loud that you love about yourself, that you're thankful for in that moment, and that will completely change the way that you're thinking. And lastly, this one is really good. And I know in my next pregnancy, I really want to do this. And it's a letter of gratitude to your body. If you find that you are struggling with all these things, whether it's a scale or it's body checking or the social media, like just put all of it aside and just sit down and write a letter to your body and just say, dear body, and write out just everything you appreciate about it, from
Mhm.
breastfeeding to carrying your baby to what your legs do, moving, walking every day. And just, I promise you that will help you just see your body in a whole new light and appreciate where it is right now.
Yeah, I love all that, and just know you're not alone. Like, every mom has these feelings, and so just knowing that you can talk to other people can give you a huge sense of encouragement. And
Mhm.
one thing that really helped me, I feel like, with body image, because I also struggled with that too, especially my first pregnancy. I think it was just so much change, was working out. And I encourage you, if you're pregnant, like, get on an exercise routine for pregnancy and prep your body for labor and recovery. And that itself helped me so much with body image. And a lot of the time we think about like working out as like a fat loss thing or something for looks, and it's so much more than that. And I promise you're going to be so much more empowered if you lift to be strong and to feel confident and prepared for whatever life throws at you. It just brings a whole new level of love for health and fitness, and a whole new level of love and appreciation for your body. And so just having that mindset of like, I'm lifting to be strong and prepped for labor and recovery for this baby and for myself, you're not only going to make all that easier on you with whatever you have to face during labor and delivery, but you're also just going to have a different view of your body. So try to look at it that way. So many people I see, they get pregnant and they stop working out because they're like, what's the point? And I'm like, what do you mean, what's the point? Like, the point is for you to feel good, be healthy, be strong. It has nothing to do with weight loss. So just really checking your mindset around this phase of life is huge. I don't know if anyone else felt that way at all. Did that help you, Kayla or Shelby, staying active?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, very much so. I was an in-person trainer actually, so I worked until I was 39 weeks pregnant, and then I took like that last week off of work and I went crazy. I didn't know what to do with myself. Like I went into Andrew's work every day and helped him with his clients and just kept myself busy. So like it definitely was good for my anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety during my pregnancy. I had a miscarriage for 3 or 4 months before we got pregnant again with Marley. So like my pregnancy was filled with anxiety. So being able to work out and being able to use that really, really helped my mental health. And then just being postpartum too, with postpartum
Yeah.
depression, postpartum anxiety, it's helped immensely. I feel like a whole new person after I work out and just move my body, even though it's harder and I don't want to do it all the time. It's so beneficial, and that's what keeps me coming back.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
empowering to walk in the gym and you have, your baby belly and you're like, look at me go. And you're just like lifting weights. And I had so many people come up to me like, this is amazing that you're here. I'm like, yeah. And I
Yeah,
felt like,
people are surprised, you know?
yes, it's like, it's again, like Chelsea said, most people just abandon it. Like, oh, don't work out. But I felt amazing throughout my entire pregnancy, physically and mentally, because I stayed active.
Yeah,
Yep. It
it's
makes
so,
it
so
easier on you
important.
in the recovery for sure.
Yeah,
All
I know
right.
a lot of us kind of mentioned, I asked how many people had some C-sections, and there's been actually quite a few. So this is kind of very specific to like kind of recovering, like almost like not immediately from a C-section, but as you're leading up to those 6 weeks. And then I can kind of cover a little bit that you can do after 6 weeks, as well. But for a C-section, just because you had, those 6 or 7 layers cut through, it's really important to make sure that that is healed first off. You can definitely do like diaphragmatic breathing, but anything more than that, you really want to wait just because you were cut through and so many layers need to heal. And that really, really is like something that can make your incision not heal properly. Like there can be a lot of complications if you aren't waiting for that incision to heal to start really exercising and doing more of those core workouts. Um, but other than that, everything is very, very similar to what they've already chatted about with the C-section. So you want to just ease back into movement. A lot of times people just want to jump right back into exercise at 6 weeks. And that is honestly not the move you want to make. You want to just take small little stepping stones, doing some body weight movements and just longer walks. You want to kind of really avoid any type of pulling sensation on your scar or that area of your incision. So, like, if you have a front loader or a top loader washer machine, like that could be very strenuous because of the hinging and the bending. So avoiding movements like that and vacuuming, that pulling motion, that push pull can be very strenuous on your incision area because it's still healing. So stuff like that, you kind of want to really wait until you're past 6 weeks and start moving a little bit more. You want to avoid crunching, sitting up, anything like that, anything that puts extra abdominal pressure on your incision or your abs itself, kind of how Chelsea had mentioned. You don't want any of that doming or coning. You want to use a rolling technique, and you could even use this if you didn't even have a C-section to help avoid that doming and combing if you are experiencing that early on postpartum. It's just you roll to your side and use your elbow to help lever you up, and then use your other hand to push you up all the way. I know it can be very hard to stand tall after a C-section because with an incision, everything's tight, sitting, everything's coming to a close. But because it is healing, you really want to make sure that you're standing tall and you're getting a light, gentle stretch. If you will feel a little bit of pulling and tightness, but that is normal. But you really want to do a little bit of stretching and standing tall throughout the day multiple times for 10 to 15 minutes is really, really good just for that scar to heal properly and not to get a lot of adhesions and tension and heal and get all those bulging areas. When you're coughing and sneezing, you really want to support your incision because it can be very painful for the first couple weeks. Even if you had complications, it could be prolonging complications and prolonging pain. So using a pillow to kind of hunch over and squeeze onto, and or even just, I always put my hand on my lower belly on my incision and gently pushed in if I had to cough or sneeze. You could even wear like an abdominal wrap if you're like OBGYN recommends it. You definitely don't have to. I didn't do it. My hospital recommended it, but my OBGYN did not after my follow-up, and I honestly felt a little more uncomfortable with it on. So for me, it just didn't feel the best, but that just all depends on the person. If you do use it incorrectly, you could actually increase more abdominal pressure, which is not what you want to your pelvic floor. So that could be something you really want to make sure that you're properly putting on, properly wearing. Make sure you talk with your OBGYN and they can show you, or a nurse, to really put that on. Once you are past 6 weeks, you can start to increase your body weight movement, like we talked about, go on longer walks. And this is actually where you could really start decreasing your scar sensitivity. So working on your scar. So you could start with using a washcloth in the shower, just doing circle motions around your scar. You can apply different types of textures. This is really going to help with that numbness that you feel. And just from those nerve endings being cut, that's just very normal. You're going to feel like that draw in, that the belly draw in that Kayla was talking about. It felt so bizarre to me. Like I could not feel my stomach working. Honestly, I didn't like have the sensation to go to the bathroom. Like when I had to pee, like I didn't feel it. It just, I felt extra pressure and uncomfortable on my scar and on my incision when I had to go to the bathroom. So that was very interesting for me. And all that's came back as I've started to work on it. You could even pinch your scar, you could massage your scar, you could do all types of work to it. And once you really are advanced into it, you can cup and scrape it. That is like more of an aggressive way to approach it. But all this just helps reduce pain, tightness, and increases mobility of that scar tissue, which is really important over time because especially if you have one C-section and another, you're going to have a lot of scar tissue built up. So working on your scar is just going to increase mobility, increasing all these things because it's so close to your hips and all that. So super important to work on your scar. But yeah, everything else applies. Mindset and pelvic floor work and exercises, all that applies. I just don't do anything that is pulling on your incision area or is painful in your incision area. That is where you need to stop and back up and make sure you're avoiding any of that. And then as time goes on, that's when you can really progress the exercise and progress it to something more advanced. And over time, it'll get there.
Okay, cool. So I wish we had all day because I would love to hit on nutrition for healing and nutrition for breastfeeding and all that, but I don't want this to go on and on. But maybe we need to do a part two because I feel like that's so important. But we would love to help support you if you are looking for help while you're pregnant or postpartum, because truthfully, this can be a hard time. This can be a very lonely time. If you do not have support in your corner, all these changes can be really tough to navigate. And if you aren't even sure how much you should be eating or how to work out or how to ease back into workouts or how to deal with exercise when you do have diastasis recti, when you do have problems with your pelvic floor, this is what we specialize in, and it's what we do and what we love to do. So here are some of our clients here. We've had some amazing transformations within the program. What we do works. So this is Coach Kayla. Looks amazing after babies. Oh, this is me and Kayla. Look at it. Had the fun journey of being pregnant together and due within 4 weeks of each other. But we both feel amazing after babies, and it's because we trained our whole pregnancy and we trained postpartum and really took care of ourselves. And we would love to help you feel the same because I'm truly a believer that you can have your best body after babies. You can feel amazing after babies. Doesn't mean that you'll look the same, doesn't mean there won't be changes. There will be, but you can feel amazing after kids. I truly, truly believe that. But you should start today. Like, I don't care if you're pregnant. I don't care if you're 1 month, 2 months, 3 months postpartum. You can start today. Obviously, it looks different, whatever stage you're in. If you're fresh postpartum, focus on the breathing, focus on the very, very basics and being with your baby. But that still counts. That still counts as you taking care of your mental health and focusing on healing. But if you're a few months postpartum and you're really ready to have a training plan that's postpartum safe to get back into things, we would love to support you with our one-on-one fitness coaching. We're going to tell you guys a little bit about what that looks like. Basically, we help mamas to lose the baby weight if that's their goal, prioritize their health and fitness, and get to a place where they feel really amazing after kids with a program that actually works. Mom's schedule. Most of my moms are working moms, so it's realistic. It makes sense for people that have a lot going on, but you still matter, and you definitely need to take care of your health because this is going to really impact not just you, but also your children. If you are not taken care of, if you are not a healthy and happy mom, is going to even affect how you're able to show up for them day to day. It's going to affect your overall happiness and your ability to enjoy this journey as a mom. And that's just the truth. You don't want to be sad and nagging and depressed. Your kids need you to show up, and that starts with you taking care of you and getting help if you need help. So we help you through having one-on-one nutrition support, one-on-one check-ins, making sure we get to know you, have a personal relationship with you, have a workout schedule that is making sense for your busy life. We're huge on education. We have a full education course for our clients, and we do biweekly calls with them, and we have a community. The short and sweet. We also have our own app with videos of every single exercise, ability to log your progress, whether that's lifting stronger in the gym, your progress pictures. You have your workout calendar set for you with absolutely everything you need, and we can see what you're doing or not doing in order to hold you accountable to that. And you will have every possible meal idea you could ever need. Our app has hundreds and hundreds of easy macro-friendly recipes to make sure that you know how to eat to reach your goals. Every resource you could really need within the program. And we have helped over 1,000 women at this point to achieve similar transformations. And again, most of them are moms, most of them doing so while working. Truly incredible. And what I would like to say too is that most our women maintain the results, and most of them work with us past their original program. So most of them re-sign because they feel so much better and see the value. So we love what we do. We're honored to work with so many women. A little bit about us and for coming today. If you are interested, we're gonna drop our call links in the chat. Oh, Amy already did that. Thank you. There's Kayla's, Shelby's, and mine. If you're at all interested in learning more, we'll hop on a call and dive into your specific situation. Make sure it's a good fit that we can help you. And if so, then we'll get you signed up. And we're offering everybody on this call $100 off the program just for attending. So thank you for spending your time with us. And now we're going to do any questions. If anybody has any comments or questions, you can unmute or put it in the chat and we will try to answer it.
There was a question about is it too late to start on scar work or even scar sensitivity work at 17 months postpartum? You could start definitely. You even if you're like 4, 5 years, 8 years, 10 years down the line, like definitely never too like late to get that definitely taken care of because it'll only improve things too.
Yeah, and Renee said that she loves that. I'm assuming she meant about the comment weight training and taking care of yourself while pregnant because she said she took on eating for 2 full on and gained 75 plus pounds first time and then got pregnant with the second at just 6 months postpartum. Yeah, it's so much on your body and it's so much to have to add a huge weight loss journey to all this as well. And I really wish there was more help for moms. I don't feel like they really give the support at the OB that I wish they could. And I understand that they can't because they just simply can't the way things are set up, but I wish they could because there's not a lot of help with not any help with nutrition for pregnancy or postpartum. And I don't know about you guys, but my like 6 week, go back to everything was just like, yep, you're good. There was no guidance. There was no like even a pamphlet. There was nothing like, hey, do this, don't do this, or how to ease back in. There was literally nothing. I'm like, at a minimum, could they like give you like a little like exercise PDF or some principles, and we could do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked. Like 6 weeks, they just, okay, cool. They didn't even look at my incision. They were like, you're good, bye.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
I was
That's
so
why we have
shocked.
this, because we're here to help you ladies.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions? Does anyone else want to add anything? Or anything that they found was helpful to them? Feel free to share that too. One thing that was super helpful to me was having pregnant mom friends. A couple of my friends happened to be due like within a month of me, two of them, and just having them to like complain complain about certain pregnancy symptoms or talk to about recovery. I can say like the second time I had a baby was so much better for me with in regards to support than the first, just because I had friends like literally in the same stage as me. And that doesn't always happen where you're having babies that close to your friends, but that helped me so much. And it just kind of reminded me like have people you can talk to, like get in community with other people and reach out. Like if you never tell anyone that you're struggling, like no one can help you, no one can support you. So like ask for help if you need help, talk to people. There are lots of moms feeling how you feel. I promise. There's so many moms dealing with the same like annoyances with their kids or struggle with body image or whatever it may be. Just reach out and talk to people. And I know having mom friends that I could talk to helped me a ton.
Yes.
Yeah. I have two friends that specifically get me out of the house.
Yeah.
So it is very nice to have because they also have kids and they just know me. So they just when they haven't heard from me for a while, they're like, hey, we need to get together, and it's great. And they know I need it, they need it, and it's honestly some of the best days that I've been able to have being postpartum and getting out of the house, talking with another human, not like having to babble at a baby all day, like actually being able to like connect with a human from going in person to online has been something that I've struggled with because I'm a very big like in person like talker, like socializer. I'm definitely a homebody and I can get like that. And so having that is something that you need. And you might need to also tell that to your friend, like, hey, let them know, hey, every once in a while I'm gonna need you to like let's get coffee and don't let me tell you no, So sometimes like that. And that was something that's helped me a lot. And also just finding a community of people around me. I've, first time mom, I've really struggled with like my friends, like them not, being here, like they don't have kids, they don't understand. So it's been really challenging in that way. So like that has hurt me a lot, and being able to lean on the people who are there for me and have that and have them has been really helpful because it's kind of like when you go through college again and you like lose your friends, and when you have kids you lose some of your friends, and so it's a big different step. And that was something that was really helpful, was to be able to lean on a lot of my mom friends and friends who were kind of pregnant around the same time as me too.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, guys. Well, I hope that was helpful. I hope you learned something, and congrats to our new mamas. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Soak up your baby snuggles.
Yes. Michaela, give your
Yes.
little smoochie for me.
Oh, yes.
I love the newborns.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right,
Thanks.
bye.